got a little bit of water, right? So it's sending it out. It goes to the capillary and it slowly gets filtered out. And the stuff gets filtered in through those little tiny holes, depending on which of the capillaries it's going through. And then it's slowly going to get bigger, but not too big, into the veins. The reason veins are smaller than arteries is so that it takes a little bit less pressure to be able to push it through. Because if it was a lot bigger, it'd have to have a lot more pressure to set it up. Because, like we said, veins are going back to the heart, which means they're going from our muscles most of the time up, whereas the arteries have a benefit of gravity as well, because it's going out towards all of our tissues. Okay, moving on. How to take your blood pressure, okay? So step one is to wrap the blood pressure cuff snugly around your upper arm. You are trying to cover your brachial artery, and make sure your meter is visible when you're trying to do this. So you'll have a big cuff or cushion, and you'll want to basically put it right over what I call my elbow pit, so to speak. It's where your bicep goes into your forearm. That when you bend your arm, it kind of creases up. You're going to want to do that right on the bicep. There's a vein right there called the brachial artery, and you're going to want to not be up in that crease, but you're going to want to be very close to that crease, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and put your stethoscope in your ears. Go ahead and put them in. Make sure it's working. Maybe give it a little tap on the bell, and then place the bell or your stethoscope over your brachial artery. This is important to make sure the best read, because this is what we are reading is the blood pressure in that one artery. Okay, and even when you go to put it on, you might want to tuck it in just slightly under that cuff to make sure it's snug and up against the artery so that you can get the best sound possible. You're going to squeeze the bulb that's connected to your cuff from a little tube. You're going to squeeze it several times to inflate the cuff about 20 to 30 mm over your average blood pressure. If you are unsure of your average blood pressure, then just go about 20 to 30 over 180 mm, or you can even, for smaller people, 160 to 200 mm. Now, you're going to slowly deflate the cuff. There's going to be different stages of sounds that you are going to hear. Okay, so they are rhythmic sounds, so to speak. So you want to listen for a whoosh rhythm. When that rhythm switches, remember what that pressure is. Okay, because that pressure is going to be your systolic blood pressure. Okay, now when the second rhythm switches, you want to remember that number, because that is your diastolic, I think it's how diastolic blood pressure. Sorry, I have bad handwriting in my notes. Okay, your diastolic blood pressure. So, one more time, I'm going to go over that. So, you're going to wrap the cuff around your bicep almost towards your elbow, or your elbow pit, so to speak. You want to make sure you're covering up that brachial artery, but you don't want to be touching all the way at the joint on your arm. Then you're going to go ahead and put your stethoscope in your ears, tap on the little bell at the end of it to make sure you can hear. Then you're going to slide that slightly under your cuff, and then just kind of leave it there right over the artery. Next, you are going to grab the ball that's connected by a tube to your cuff. You're going to squeeze the ball 160 to about 200 mm. Anywhere between there, you want to go about 20 to 30 over your average blood pressure. And then after you squeeze it that high, you're going to let it slowly deflate the cuff. And you're going to listen for rhythmic patterns. Okay? So, the first one should be a whoosh. You should try to rush back into the body, because you've almost cut off the circulation. And when that rhythm switches, you want to look at your meter, which you should already have been looking at to make sure. And when it switches, remember the amount systolic blood pressure, and the second is called your diastolic blood pressure. The way blood pressure is read is systolic over diastolic. So, you take it here, you have systolic over diastolic, right? So let's say we have I'm really bad at this writing thing, 115 over 75. That is what your blood pressure could possibly look like. Okay. We have hypertension and shock. What is hypertension and what is shock? Hypertension is when your blood pressure is getting too high. It is pounding through your vessels, through your arteries, your capillaries, and our veins, which we learned about, and it is just putting too much pressure on. Okay? Now, there is another variation of hypertension called hypotension. This is where your blood pressure is too low. Generically, hypotension causes no concern. It is often related to athletic and physical conditioning. It's just where your pressure in your blood is just a little, it's just lower than the some average people. There is no concern related to it though. Now, there is a concern to, you can get what they call orthostatic hypotension, which occurs sometimes in elderly people. They may experience temporary low blood pressure and possible dizziness. They rise suddenly from a lying or sitting position. All it is a blood pressure is trying to adjust on how to shoot the blood through the body due to this new movement and the effect of gravity. Because as you get older, your body gets slower, so its reaction time is going to shorten as well. But hypertension is a common and actual dangerous disease. It's called chronic hypertension, where it is consistently high. It will slowly strain and even hurt your heart and arteries because you're making your heart try and push it even harder. It's shooting down way too hard, and you can even possibly tear or rip your vessels. Shock is an acute hypotension, or a condition where the blood vessels are not filled with a functional amount of blood, so it cannot circulate properly. So shock is often a warning sign, so to speak, that you need to go to a doctor if you experience this. The blood pressure is going to be so low that it cannot, it does not have enough blood in the vessels to be able to shoot back towards the heart, and it can even end in possible organ failures. You can see I have a quiz here of different questions. What is one of the main blood vessels in the body? And if you went through and you wanted to answer them, you could say artery, tendon, or hypertension. You know that artery is one of the blood vessels. That's okay. Just another one. What is the danger of hypertension? Hypertension, as we said, was too much blood pressure. So it could be feeling a major headache all over, maybe that pounding, maybe overheating, maybe you think running through your body's too hot. But like I said, it's possible tearing of blood vessels. Because we just get down to 10. And this is a bit trickier one because it was not up on the thing. And it's just leaving the heart, which blood vessels first, and I went over this many times. Artery. Okay. Here's your answer key. All the answers are A. I did this just because I know anytime I take a test, I always question myself when I get too many answers in a row. So, to make sure they question themselves and to make sure they are trying to be confident in their answer and they have thoroughly thought it through, I made all of them A. Thank you very much, and once again, this presentation was on blood pressure, blood vessels. Okay, thank you very much. This was for anatomy and physiology class with Ms. Dunlap, and I hope you enjoyed listening.